Right, now this is my first video blog, and I'm Nikki, and I live in the UK, as some of you may know, some of you may not. Now, I tend to get asked, well, this started because Will has done a blog, and I thought, I wanted to do one, and I promised that if he plugged mine, I would make one myself. So that's why I'm now sat here in front of the computer, not exactly knowing what to say. As I said before, I live in the UK, and I do spend a lot of time on American message boards, and the question I tend to get asked a lot, or is brought up a lot, is what is my school system like? Just because it always seems so different to the American system. Now, I'm not a so-called expert on the American system. All my knowledge comes from movies, so there may be a few problems there. But there's a few main differences between schooling and education in the UK. Now, I started school when I was 4, which is the usual age to start, and you enter in reception, which is at primary school. Now, primary school is from between the ages of 4 to 11. And it covers reception, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5 and year 6. Now, there's not really much interesting happens there, apart from in year 2 you have things called your SATs, which are standard assessment tests, which are not the same as the American SATs, because these are really simple, because you are 6 or 7 when you sit them in year 2, and then you have SATs in year 6, which are a bit harder, but you're still talking pretty easy, well, compared to the work I'm doing now. Once you reach the age of 11 and you move to secondary school, which covers year 7 to 11. Now, the one key difference with the UK school system is that you only have to go to school until you're 16. This means we get to exams in year 11, which could matter on what job we get and whether we can get accepted into something called sixth form, which is where you do A levels. Now, GCSE stands for General Certificate. See, I'm thinking now because I can't actually understand now I'm doing A levels. General Certificate of Secondary Education, and you have to do English, maths and science, and then you get to pick a few options. So, for example, I did English, maths, double science, French, religious studies, history, drama and ICT. Now, once you reach 16, you can legally leave school and get a job, but not that many people do, because it's easier to get into university and you need A levels to get into university. So A levels is taking place at sixth form. Now, in my case, my sixth form is attached to my school, so it's just made no difference to me. I've just moved up a year, apart from I now have a different uniform. Now, year 12 and year 13 cover your A levels, which are your advanced levels, to give it its full title, and you can do pretty much any subject you really want to, because you can really there's no compulsory subject you have to do. So, for example, I'm doing physics, maths, further maths and psychology, so that's a really random choice. And then this part of school isn't compulsory, so if you don't pay attention and you don't do well, you can get kicked out of school, which my school seems to like doing, but it makes it easier because you tend to be in a class where people want to do your subject and it's not a forced thing to do, like English and maths tend to be in year 10 and 11. Now, when you go into sixth form, you are 16 to 18. Now, 18, you can leave and get a job, which some people do, or you can go into university. Now, you can't technically go to university without A levels or some form of qualification that I don't really want to go into. Well, that's like the school system bit sorted out. But all of you seem to be really wondering about how I finished pretty late in summer and I go back just after you do. Well, the thing is, I have better holidays than you, as some of you do tend to know, like Ed and Will, that you're really jealous that I have Halloween. Well, we have a week off at Halloween, 2 weeks at Christmas, a week in February, 2 weeks Easter, and a week in June off. And then we only have 6 weeks during the summer, which does tend to work out better because you are absolutely dying for a holiday after certain points of the year, and half terms tend to break up the time. Now, I've probably waffled on, and this may sound really boring to loads of people, but I hope it answers some more of your questions. Now, I'm willing to answer any other questions any of you tend to have, and I'm going to be using these as directing you to them. So if someone asks me about the school system, I'll just send you to this. So if you're there watching this now, hello. Now, I'd like to say thank you again for Will for plugging my blog that didn't really exist at that moment, and now I've actually had to go and make one, so that's now why I'm sat here now, as I've probably said before. Now, this may be completely rubbish, but, you know, first one, first go, you know. So, I'm just trying, if any other questions, you have any problems about things you don't understand in the UK, like our humour, which is pretty weird, and I get very confused with American humour sometimes, so big hello to Will, Ed, Semi, and some other people from the LP that I've probably completely forgotten about, and they're probably going to kill me in a minute. So there, this is my blog. I have a very weird accent, and it's not cute, or Well, people say it's cute, but I don't think it's cute, if that makes sense. And I was going to say something then, and I've completely forgotten now. So yeah, my accent isn't very cute, but now this is the end of my vlog, and I'll probably do one soon, which may touch more on a question, or it may just be like what's happened in my life, which tends to be quite interesting, boring, depending on your perspective. So that is the end of this.